Okay, let's jump right in. Today we're doing a deep dive on a really interesting piece of hardware, the Lian Li SP850 Black. This is that 850-watt SFX power supply that, something like 50,000 PC builders just quietly snapped up. So our mission is to dig into the official claims versus some pretty alarming user reports we've been seeing, especially when it comes to high-end graphics cards.
And on paper, you can see why it was so popular. It's everything a small form factor builder could want. It's fully modular, it has that 80+ gold rating, and it's pushing 850 watts total, with 840 of that on the 12-volt rail alone. Plus, it ships with that crucial PCIe 5.0 cable, the 12VHBWR. It really looks like a dream for these compact builds.
It does, it looks perfect. But that's the promise, and this is where the story gets a little messy. Because while a lot of users love it, they praise its rock-solid output. The near-silent operation with that 0 RPM fan other user threads are, well, they're not so positive. We're seeing reports of sudden shutdowns under load, PSU failures, and even a few people describing sparks on startup.
Yeah, and the failure modes are really specific. One user reported their PSU would power on for 39 to 46 seconds and then just click off. And other reports point to overheating, especially during GPU stress tests. It really suggests that 0 RPM fan control might be a bit unreliable in warmer climates or, these super tight SFF builds.
Okay, so let's focus on what seems to be the biggest red flag, the high-end GPUs. Despite that 850-watt rating, a lot of people are reporting these abrupt shutdowns the second they plug in a demanding card with that 12 VHPWR cable.
And that's the core of it, really. Those reports raise a huge concern that the cable, or maybe the entire power delivery path, doesn't exactly meet the official PCIe 5.0 ATX 3.0 specification.
Wait, so what does that mean? If it's true, the 850-watt number becomes
meaningless, at least when you're pushing those bleeding-edge graphics cards, yes.
Right. So for those of us who don't read PSU spec sheets for fun, what does ATX 3.0 actually require that older standards didn't?
It's all about transient spikes. ATX 3.0 specifically mandates that a PSU must handle these incredibly brief, massive power excursions. We're talking spikes that can be up to 3 times the PSU's rated wattage.
3 times. So for an 850-watt unit, it has to handle bursts up to, over 2,500 watts?
For a fraction of a second, yes. And if the internal components or the cable itself aren't engineered to handle that transient response precisely, then the moment your GPU asks for that power, the PSU just gives up. The 850-watt sustained rating doesn't matter.
I see. So that explains the sudden shutdowns, the GPU demands the spikes, the PSU fails the ATX 3.0 test, and the system just cuts out. And that would also explain the overheating reports, right? The stress of trying to manage those spikes could be what's pushing the components too hard for the fan to cool.
Exactly. So for you, the verdict on the SP850 is really a mixed bag. It can work and work well for a mid-range build or a carefully managed system with a more modest GPU.
But, and this is a big but, if you're planning to push your system hard, if you're using bleeding-edge components, you have to treat the SP850 as potentially risky, not bulletproof.
Which leaves us with a final thought to chew on. If a component's advertised wattage isn't enough to overcome non-compliance with the exact ATX 3.0 spec, what other crucial compatibility details might you be overlooking in this race for compact power?